the John-Sai family video with the unseal typeface. It really does invite a fairy graphic to go with it. So I'm contemplating. Fairies, oh dear. It's a real, what's it, isn't it? An artist, and I think an artist in many ways, well, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, works for themselves. In that creative process, there's an inside to outside. When we were going to, oh dear, when we were in the UK, a friend of mine who is into printing and has some really interesting insights into specialist performing inks. And we were going to form a business. Well, we did form a business. We actually registered it. And there was... I'll try again. I'm struggling to remember the name of the business. I'll get it in a minute. You know, I really worry about my head, my brain and my memory. We called the business From the Inside, and it was to be about the development of thinking of the development of thinking in terms of innovations. So from the inside to an expression outside. Delucia had done his PhD looking at inks which change colour in ultraviolet light in particular, but in different lighting conditions, so that you had a cloth or paper even, with a dynamic pattern depending on the lighting conditions. And what we were interested in doing was to work with anybody, but principally with students on the creative process, to start expressing things in a different way through the use of these inks and the lighting environment on the material. And so and also because with my background in teaching in business, sort of supervising the end of Delucia's PhD, and also working with Paul, a friend of mine with a marketing background and a business school background too. We were very, very interested in this whole idea of how do you surface things and then come to express them. Let's take an example. Monet, an artist from my favourite period of painting, the Impressionists. Definitely painting at one stage to satisfy himself, and this idea of groups of artists getting together and writing a manifesto of what their work is about, and then working to create and express according to that manifesto. I'd like to think, I would like to think, I'd like to think a lot. I'd like to think that still essentially the artists were creating and expressing things from inside to the outside, for themselves. But at what point is it that an artist starts then to be cognizant of the marketplace for their work? And to what degree do they then work within an idiom which is marketable because it's recognizable as their stuff? And to what extent do they allow themselves to continue and to develop? In creating the blog and the vlog, I've realised that certainly in the blog, I'm very, very much working with a layout from WordPress that I like, that's clean. In one sense it's current, but if you were to look back in the histories of typography, it's very 1970s or even avant-garde earlier than that in its fundamentals. And some of the typefaces and stuff I like is older references than that. So I'm struggling with this idea of, do I want the blog and the vlog to grow? And if so, what's marketable? What's current? How do I know or understand my client base, my viewers? Or lack of. I think at the moment I've got 3. If that many. But I know that 2 of those are me. Who is it who's not me and who's watching? Anyway, yeah. So do I carry on with my own kind of mischievous things that I like and I really would want to sustain, keep going with? And let the audience find me if there is one? Or do I, as all of the guidance suggests, if you want to grow your channel, you pore over all of the data, the diagnostics that you can get, and you start pushing the buttons towards the area where you're getting interest and highlight. I know Paul at one time, and I'm going back quite some years, Paul was blogging, and he was talking to me about, very, very quick, short piece of conversation. He was talking to me about his blog and how it was really interesting what people were reacting to and how he'd write a little bit more. I've noticed that he's never talked about his blog for the last 4 years, 5 years. I know he's very interested in TikTok, but then he is a single guy. That was naughty. That was naughty. Honestly, he's interested in most digital platforms and what they're about and the impacts they might have on the discipline of marketing. I'd love to see what's in his collection of TikTok. Maybe you'll show me one day, Paul. Oh, anyway, I'm supposed to be getting some food, aren't I? Yeah, so do I, as I'm sitting here with John-Sai family video on the screen in front of me in this gorgeous unsealed typeface, do I go with that and follow my nose into this kind of surreal, fairy theme and then slap it over what we do? Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? The issue with the unsealed thing is it looks gorgeous, but because it's so unusual, it's not easy to read. Now, one of the things you become aware of is that the digital platforms fast. So quirky John-Sai family video, fairy graphic might work as a logo, as an attention grabber. But I can't use that through the material. I'd have to change into something that's an awful lot quicker and easier to read. And maybe you get some style conflicts. That's not getting my tuna mayo sandwich made, is it? Or shall I have corned beef hash sandwich? Or shall I have a look in the cupboard and see what's there sandwich?